It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It is our second show of year number 8, and time to meet Team 366. Darien Harris, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions, aspiring broadcaster, and he is the first Michigan State football director of player engagement. How are you, Darien?
Doing well. My Lakers are in action tonight. The only team that stresses me out in the world. I mean, Michigan State doesn't even stress me out as much as the Lakers do. But game 3 tonight, so I'm excited about that. But also excited that we got pads on in practice now in terms of Michigan State football. So it's feeling a little bit more like fall now around here.
Well, we appreciate you making the sacrifice to be here while this game is in progress. Are you taping this game?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to watch every second of this game. It's been a while, since 10 years since I've been able to watch this team in the finals. So I got to soak it all in, but hopefully we get it done.
We are 20 days away from being able to watch Michigan State football out at Spartan Stadium. A lot of work has gone into this and still so many questions of what we're going to see. I think there are fewer knowns with this season than any season I can remember.
Oh, definitely, from top to bottom. But that's with anything, with any team, anywhere. And just hats off to everyone that's made it possible for us to play, especially the medical professionals and experts on the front lines that are ensuring that we're safe day in and day out.
We also want to welcome Stephen Brooks. He does a great job covering Michigan State football and basketball for 24/7 Sports Spartan Tailgate Premium site. And he is a dark horse candidate to become the manager of the Detroit Tigers. Really a long shot for that one. Stephen, are you ready for college football Big Ten style?
Yeah, I'm much more ready for that than taking over the Tigers, but I don't think I could have done much worse, I guess, than what they got. So maybe they do need a guy like me. Yeah, but like Darien said, it's getting cold out now. It's, the pads are on and all that. It really is starting to feel real here. We've seen almost everybody else get back onto the field, so I'm excited. I can't wait.
You've been a fixture on all of these Zoom calls with coaches, assistant coaches, players we've been getting. What have you learned?
Not a whole lot, honestly. I mean, I don't, because, I've gotten a lot of the same questions throughout the offseason. I don't know that the answers exist for some of this stuff. You know, when you want to talk quarterback or scheme or whatever, I don't know if those are truly out there. And if they are, they're not telling me.
We will be back in just a couple minutes, and a big picture segment brought to you by Dean Transportation. And we're going to talk about college football, what Alabama did, what Oklahoma and Texas did not do. We're going to take a look at the top 25 games in action and this week's top 25 released tonight. We'll be right back on Press Pass.
We are MEA, a foundation of collective strength, an advocate for education. K-12 educators, support professionals, and higher education employees, united to support our students, our schools, and our community. Together, we are the shield protecting every student's right to succeed. Michigan Education Association. Champions for education.
Do you find it difficult to hear clearly? Don't miss out on life's biggest moments. At Audiology and Hearing Services, we'll help you clearly and comfortably hear everything you've been missing. Our highly skilled team will discuss your hearing needs and fit you with our top quality, easy to use, personalized hearing aids. Call us to schedule your hearing assessment today. Audiology and Hearing Services. Improve your hearing, improve your life.
Jackson's Underworld presents Fox 47's Haunted Halloween. Get pumpkin carving ideas, take a tour through the scariest haunted houses, and browse through galleries of costume ideas, home decor, and safety tips. Find this and more at fox47news.com/Halloween.
Skin Boss Med Spa wants you to stay up late with your friends.
I thought you were going to be gone all day.
Watch Friends weeknights at midnight on Fox 47.
I'm next. How can I help?
Next, tonight at 9 on Fox.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Transportation. Dean is hiring caring and dependable people as school bus drivers in many Michigan markets. Be a hero in your community and safely transport children to and from school with Dean. For more information and to apply, visit deantransportation.com/jobs. That's deantransportation.com/jobs. Alabama Crimson Tide in action yesterday against Texas A&M, and you see Alabama junior quarterback Mac Jones throwing 4 touchdown passes, deep shots of 78 and 63 yards to John Mechie III, and an 87-yard strike. That one was to Jalen Waddle, and he also had a 2-yard toss to Devontae Smith in the back of the end zone. You're going to see that in just a minute. And this is the play I thought really showed his touch, where he feathered that ball into the back of the end zone. Fantastic job there by Mac Jones, and a big win for the Crimson Tide. Darien Harris, remember Tua Tagovailoa? Yeah. People forget that it was Mac Jones and not Tua. Last year in the bowl game, New Year's Day, they beat Michigan 35-16, and Mac Jones has shown that he can fire the deep ball and he can feather that pass in to traffic.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you want at any institution, is you don't want to have to kind of rebuild at the quarterback spot. You want to reload, and certainly Alabama has shown that they've been able to do that, dating back to A.J. McCarron, even before that, with Greg McElroy and all these quarterbacks that have been great for Alabama. So it's pretty much what you expect, but just the way the game has changed nowadays in terms of football in general. Yeah. It's a quarterback-driven sport. It's a one-position really driven sport, and you're going to see a lot of numbers like that from everywhere pretty much.
Stephen Brooks, with the Pac-12 a non-factor in the playoff, and the Big 12 playing itself out with its top teams losing, Oklahoma falling back-to-back weeks, and Texas also losing at home, is it a virtual lock that the SEC is going to put 2 teams in the playoff?
Starting to look like it, and now that they've said that they are going to hold it at 4 this year, it's really tough to picture it not having to. We'll see, what the Big Ten season obviously looks like, and what type of sample size that those teams can get out of that, and what type of case that they can make. But yeah, I mean, when you're looking at Alabama, Georgia, Florida right at the top, and then maybe a second crust of like a Auburn, LSU, and Mississippi State, has been really interesting. Will they all beat up on each other? I guess we'll see, but the top does look really good. I do want to say I think there should be an outside case made for Louisiana to make the playoff right now. They're sort of my under-the-radar team that's really caught my eye already this year, and everything's so upside down, might as well get a mid-major like that in the field this year.
Well, I can't wait for Miami and Clemson, see if any team can get the Tigers, but Derek King, who knows? Stranger things have happened. Darien, you know how much I love upsets in college football, and it's a rich-get-richer sport with an incredibly uneven playing field. But this weekend, 7 of the 17 ranked teams lost, and when you look at that, it made for a lot of excitement.
It does, and it just goes to show that it's going to be a strange year, I think, throughout, just because of the different time that people had to prepare for this season. Obviously, the idea that there's fans at some place. I mean, look at Georgia Auburn. I mean, they said 1/5. I don't know if that was 1/5. It looked a little more than that. But in other places, it's only family, so maybe your home field advantage goes out the window. So there's a lot of different things and a lot of variables that are going to come into play. I think we're going to see a lot more upsets this year than usual.
Yeah. Who knows what it's going to be like? Not going to have fans in East Lansing. At least the workers aren't planning to be there. They've been told that they won't be needed this year. Stephen, as we look at the new AP Top 25, just released this afternoon, there you see the scores from this weekend. But if you look at the new AP Top 25, what do you think of the SEC having the number 2, number 3, and number 4 teams, and the Big Ten with slots 6, 9, 16, 20, and 25. That's Ohio State at 6, Penn State at 9, Wisconsin 16, with an injury to quarterback Jack Cohn. Who knows how long he's going to be out. Michigan at 20, and Minnesota at 25.
Yeah, I think you were always going to have the SEC, dominating it up top anyway. I mean, it's kind of like that every year. And now especially, they've had sort of this little window where they are kind of the biggest show right now until the Big Ten gets going. The power leagues that started earlier, the ACC and Big 12, they didn't really come out of the gates firing and didn't really, other than maybe a Miami, like you mentioned, none of those teams really came right out and made a big statement. So it doesn't surprise me at all. In terms of the Big Ten stuff, man, I mean, let's just get to it and see who's really good, who's really about it and all that, because I really don't know at this point, and I just hope that we can get most of the season going through.
No bye weeks built into the Big Ten season, and if something happens and Ohio State or Penn State or whoever has to miss a week, it might not have enough to get there. We'll be right back with more Michigan State up next.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
I just was in a spirit of wanting to give people, from the second I stepped on the stage, a presence that spoke in volumes before they even heard my voice. And I felt like the dragon costume did it. It just nailed it. I've been a costume-driven artist from the beginning because I was groomed and conditioned to be a showman. And showmanship is a very key ingredient and key component to what distinguishes the difference between artists that can create careers and legacies and the artists that don't. The symbolism of what the dragon represents, I feel, is what encompasses who and what Busta Rhymes is.
I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. Right there.
It was cool. I had fun. Energy was great. The people was great. The love was great. The vibe was what it needed to be.
Download the Fox 47 News app and stay connected everywhere you go.
We are MEA, a foundation of collective strength, an advocate for education. K-12 educators, support professionals, and higher education employees, united to support our students, our schools, and our community. Together, we are the shield protecting every student's right to succeed. Michigan Education Association. Champions for education.
Millions of coronavirus cases, tens of millions of jobs lost. In 2020, healthcare is more important than ever. John James claims he'll protect us, but look at the facts. James supported a plan that strips healthcare from 23 million Americans, charges an age tax, and eliminates protections for pre-existing conditions. If we can't trust John James to support us now, why would we send him to the Senate? SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan on West Grand River and Okemos. With 106 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you, as they have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. For new or used vehicles, go green, go grass. There you see Michigan State incoming freshman quarterback Noah Kim, and pretty happy. First-time voter holding up his ballot. That is a tweet by our own Darien Harris. Darien, can you explain the educational process that goes in here about politics and what's happening? Mel Tucker seems very committed to this. Does he tell people a lot about the process? Are they required to vote? Are they encouraged to vote for specific causes? How's that work?
Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, it's something that, kind of fell on my desk with everything going on. And I was excited about it because I think it's important just to know your civic duty to be able to vote. So we've been very fortunate to be able to partner with the Secretary of State as an entire athletic department with Michigan State, and that's included a lot of educational seminars by Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and others from her team. And what's ended up happening is a lot of guys who are either going to be first-time voters or just didn't know about the process have learned about it, have learned about absentee ballots and all those things. And all we want is for everyone to have the opportunity to exercise their vote, exercise their right to vote. You don't have to, it's not required. Obviously, we're not telling you who to vote for, but we want you to have the option and the education to be able to do so. I am betting that the Michigan State football program will have a higher voter rate than the general population, right? That's the hope. That's the hope. Okay. Stephen Brooks, I want to take another look at Michigan State's schedule for 2020. This is schedule version 3.0. Which games will be tougher to win? A rivalry game at U of M or a longer trip to Iowa? A home game with Ohio State or a December 12th visit to Happy Valley? Of those two pairs, Michigan and Iowa, home game with Ohio State, road game with Penn State, which two will be tougher?
I'd say definitely the last two with Ohio State, Penn State back-to-back. I mean, I don't think there's a team like Ohio State in this conference. I think they're kind of they're in their own little neighborhood in terms of this year. So that's the biggest challenge on their schedule. It was always going to be, no matter where it ended up. And then Penn State, it's probably the next best thing. So I do like that it's back on the traditional end of the regular season weekend. That's sort of a nice little change that they got out of it. But yeah, it's absolutely those two.
But you have Ohio State as the toughest and Penn State as the second toughest. What about those two early road games? Michigan State always gets up for Michigan. Would they have a tougher time with the Wolverines or with the Hawkeyes?
That's a good question because I don't really know what Iowa's going to be yet. Yeah. I do think it's a great year to go to both of those places when there won't be fans there. Obviously, talking about the big house in Kinnick Stadium. Yeah. Iowa, you kind of know what to expect from those guys. It's kind of like just ready-made, rip the packaging off, and you got to smash mouth 8-win football team, with Michigan, and I'd sort of be curious to hear Darien's thoughts. I'm sure that as a competitor on a team, you want to get an early test like that, and I think that's a good team. I don't think they're the unslayable dragon like Ohio State, but I think they're a good team that will be able to give you a gauge of where you're at.
Darien, I want to take a look at some seating capacities for the state's two Big Ten schools, Michigan Stadium, Spartan Stadium, Breslin Center, Chrysler Arena. The total of those four facilities, 210,110. Sometime tonight or tomorrow, a COVID-19 death toll will pass that in the United States. In light of that, why did the entire SMU student body have to be evicted in the middle of this game when they weren't socially distant, they didn't have masks on? Finally, they stopped it and they just said, clear them all out.
Yeah, well, you just have to follow the protocol, and I'm not sure what they said beforehand. I'm assuming that they put something in place down at SMU to say that that shouldn't be taking place. But, college students are college students, and this is a prime time of their life, and they want to enjoy the game. So you definitely feel for them, but you're just going to have to sacrifice a little bit this year, and hopefully by next season everything will be back to normal.
We will be back in just a couple of minutes, and we're going to look at the Detroit Lions, and they were back to normal, giving up another lead and a big loss today. We'll be right back.
We are MEA, a foundation of collective strength, an advocate for education. K-12 educators, support professionals, and higher education employees, united to support our students, our schools, and our community. Together, we are the shield protecting every student's right to succeed. Michigan Education Association. Champions for education.
Time to get your game on. Sports wagering is now open at the all-new Dacey Sportsbook and Tap House, only at Firekeepers.
Jessica Alba and Gabrielle Union are LA's finest, Monday on Fox.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. That's why I'm there every week. There you see the graphic of the Lions' 35-29 loss to the Saints. Detroit jumping out to a quick early lead, 2 touchdowns before people really realized what was happening, and then the Saints with a big surge in the middle, the Lions coming back with a couple scores, including a 2-point conversion in an unusual place, but could not quite get it done. Stephen, the Lions made it interesting, but in the end, they could not overcome this big middle of the game, and as often, we saw the Saints finish them off at Ford Field.
Yeah, it was a little like inverse Lions a little bit. Normally, you know, they break your heart at the end and very quickly they give up 2 touchdowns or something in the last, 3 minutes. But this was like they started very quickly and then it was just a slow collapse over the rest of the, 3 hours. 5 straight scoring drives was unbelievable. I mean, it is totally believable. It's the Lions, of course, but that was unacceptable, I guess is the right word. And then, like you mentioned, the 2-point conversion was just odd. I didn't understand that call at all. I mean, it worked. They got it. Great. But didn't understand that. And, yeah, just another bad day for another, a bad team. Let's just say what it is.
Darien, the Saints without the best receiver in pro football in Michael Thomas. But Detroit scores twice in the first 4:37. And then it was like they checked in, and then they decided they were going to leave for a while. They might have got on a bus and drove around downtown and then checked back into the facility. What happened?
Well, I would say that, and it's not really an excuse, but playing with a lead is tough, especially that early. I mean, you almost don't necessarily know what to do, and you kind of naturally go into this conservative mode, and I'm not necessarily sure the Lions did that, but I just think mentally you almost do that. You're like, we got to protect this lead. And also it's kind of probably was a culture shock. They're like, oh, we're up 14-0 on one of the best teams in the NFC. We got to find a way to hold on to this. On the flip side, if you got Drew Brees on the other side and they're playing from behind, another gear kicks in also. So it's just it was a kind of a bad circumstance for the Lions. No excuse at the end of the day, but I could definitely see how it happened.
Stephen, I want to take another look at the Lions' 2020 schedule as they head into the bye. 1-3. It looks like they have a series of winnable games coming up, but with Matt Patricia's teams, every game is losable.
It does look that way. I guess at this point, you kind of, I mean, you know, if you're a Lions fan, you're used to it. You got to decide what way you want to take this thing. I mean, do you want to try and get near the top of the draft and see what you can do and maybe shake some things up, or you know, you want to just sort of crawl your way into a 7 and just a sub 500 season again and be near the middle of the pack? And I don't think this team has what it takes to do anything, so I don't see the point in rolling off 4 out of 5 wins or something coming up. But they'll probably do that. They won the Arizona game, which I don't think really helps them in the long run, and they'll probably be right in that same old position again where they're no good. The record is sort of lower middle of the pack, and it'll just be what it is. It's another year of Lions football. They've been consistently, the same throughout this whole thing. They make this year feel really normal when a lot hasn't.
Darien, when you look at what's happened this week, we have 12 games in the book. You got 1 in progress now. You have 2 tomorrow night, a Monday night doubleheader with the delay you have with the Patriots and the Chiefs. And then you have the postponement from week 4 to week 7 of the Steelers and Titans. What's impressed you the most this week?
I would just say how everyone's still able to play despite everything that's going on. I mean, there's always going to be weird games and wacky games and games that go back and forth. I mean, I guess I'd say Tom Brady, if I was to pick a team and a player, was impressive. I mean, he kind of, I don't know if you can even say with him turn back the clock. He just keeps doing what he's doing, but just in general, to play with all these circumstances and protocols and things like that is impressive in and of itself.
And even Tom Brady, it was a little bit weird. He threw a pick 6 for the 4th time in 6 games, and it took a fumble just before halftime, and they were down. They were down 24-7, and it looked like the Chargers were going to kill the clock, and then a high handoff, the ball comes loose, and suddenly Tampa Bay has it in the red zone, and Brady's just sitting there. He says, go back on the field now? I mean, it was a surprise to just about everybody, but so many points being scored, so many yards. Do you like that kind of football?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, and you look on the other side of it with Justin Herbert and what he's doing for LA, for the Chargers, is fun to watch too. But it's almost razzle-dazzle football right now. Yeah. At all levels. I mean, because you lost practice time, you lost a lot of fall camp time. That's about, again, what I expected for this year.
That is Darien, the ex-running back, not Darien, the ex-linebacker, who likes that kind of football. We will be back in just a minute, and we're going to talk about Major League Baseball's postseason and the NBA Finals coming up. We'll be back in just a minute here on Press Pass.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else. Peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Dr. Leonard Hofstetter. Cool, redefined.
To Breast Thing is a very useful community organization that really helps women who don't have access to extra income that they need.
They help patients at the point of immediate need while they're undergoing treatment, and that has made a great difference for a number of my patients. One of the problems we often have with breast cancer is patients completing their therapy, and this was one of the things that helped them get to that end point.
Sometimes it's these grants, or when you assess that and they need it, it's just to help pay the rent maybe, or a heating bill, or just like daily living things that people need that now I don't have the income that I did because now I have a breast cancer diagnosis.
Get online for It's a Breast Thing and get one of these $1,000 grants. There's $1,000 and it's out there waiting for you.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton, South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most. Here you see the Major League Baseball wild card results, and Darien, I thought it was very interesting that 7 teams from the American League and National League Central Divisions made it into the playoffs. 7 of the 10, they're all out. They went a combined 2-14. Any idea why that would be?
Must be something with the region of the country. I mean, that's kind of the only explanation there. Just some weird divine intervention in that regard.
Stephen Brooks, I want to ask you, are you there, Stephen?
What now? Huh?
Stephen.
Yes.
I know what a baseball guy you are. Okay,
yes.
we're gonna let Stephen finish his nap. Okay, and we will get him back on to talk basketball, and he'll be back with us a little later in the show. But Darien, Stephen makes no bones about it. He's a soccer guy, not a baseball guy. You're both.
Yeah.
You're a little bit of everything that goes with that. When you look at these playoffs now and where they're headed with this, can you give me an upset winner in the next round? Let's take a look at the next round of the playoffs, the pairings. You have the Yankees and the Rays had the Yankees number in the regular season. I think they beat them 8 out of 10. The Astros, who beat the Twins, they're facing the Athletics. And then in the National League, you have the Marlins, another 6 seed. They beat the Cubs. They're playing the 2nd-seeded Braves. And then you've got the Dodgers and the Padres, and that's an interdivisional matchup. Do you see any surprise possibilities there?
I mean, I think we're on a crash course for Yankees-Dodgers. At least that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
But I could see a potential Astros-Padres meetup in the World Series. I think the Padres are hot and they're fun to watch, and I think they're kind of America's sweetheart right now with Tatis Jr. and what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then the Astros, if you look at it objectively now, I think everybody wants to see them lose, but objectively, they have something to prove. And they've been trying to do that all year, to say, hey, it's pretty clear that they did cheat, but we don't need that to be successful. So I think that they're playing with some weird kind of reverse chip on their shoulder as well. So I could definitely see those 2 teams upsetting the favorites. But I think we're on a crash course of Yankees-Dodgers. It's kind of similar to the NBA in the stance that, for the Lakers, if you want to get it done, you need to get it done this year. Same for Yankees-Dodgers. They're probably both thinking about that. Let's get it done this year in this shortened season.
When we talk about the blueprint for champions in almost any sport, you got to get in. Got to be healthy, and you got to be hot.
Yep.
And if you can do that, and the Astros, Jose Altuve has not played well for a long time. They don't have Justin Verlander and haven't had him since after his first start of the season. So maybe the Astros haven't played their best baseball yet, and as you say, it's going to be everybody rooting against them.
Exactly.
Be interesting to see with the Dodgers. They haven't won a world championship since Kirk Gibson in 1988.
Yeah, I mean, they have like this weird proverbial curse over them. They got the bullpen. They have, they got the hitters. They spend the money. The Betts plays well, and they got the big bats and all those things, but for some reason they just can't get over that hump. And when you look at the Kershaw, when he gets into the playoffs, it's like a different guy. I mean, he's on pace to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he just can't seem to do it in the playoffs. So again, maybe shortened season, even though they are going to kind of let some fans in, I think, starting in NLCS, ALCS, different type of situation, different type of scenario. Maybe it's the year for them to get it done.
Someone said that Kershaw was having as much postseason success as his high school battery mate, Matthew Stafford. Neither one of them anything to note. But when you think about the Yankees and the Dodgers, there was a period long before you were around, 1941 to 1981. And in those 41 years, they met in the World Series 11 times. And now here we are the last 39 years and it hasn't happened. So people who say, yeah, it was always the Yankees and the Dodgers, you don't know that.
No, I don't. So I'm trying to learn it because I like that historic aspect of it. They're probably the two most famous jerseys, maybe in all the sports. If you think about the Dodgers and the Yankees, the pinstripes and that royal blue of the Dodgers. So again, I think it's what America wants to see. Maybe we'll get it this year.
Yeah. We are getting a best of 5 now. It was best of 3 for these wild cards, and then a best of 5, and then eventually you'll get to a best of 7. Does a shorter series like that give you true results? It seems like you get one hot pitcher and funny bounce and team can be out.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends how you look at it. I mean, you think about just the history of the playoffs, you would probably say it doesn't because now you're changing up and you're 2 less games and things of that nature. But going into the series, you know what you have to win in that. And yeah, it kind of changes up your strategy a little bit. It almost makes it a little bit more exciting.
Well, if you're ever going to change it up, this is a year for the change-up. Major League Baseball's thrown a change-up at the fans all year long. We will be back in just a minute. We're going to talk NBA up next on Press Pass.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien.
Smooth driving pays off. With Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you save. You've never been in better hands. Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
Show us pics of haunted houses that make you scream. Send them to YesPics at fox47news.com. Sponsored by Holt and Diamonddale Insurance Agency.
Are you sick and tired of your old business printer? At Cartridge World in Okemos, you can get brand name printers at no cost. Just buy our quality printer cartridges and we provide the printers for free. Cartridge World in Okemos, just down the road from Meridian Mall.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, only on Fox 47 News.
WWE superstar Otis reminding you that SmackDown is all new this Friday on Fox 47.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Tracking a Trophy segment, brought to you by the Ticket Machine at the corner of Mount Hope and Hagedorn. The best in sports and entertainment ticketing. Whenever those events resume, go to theticketmachine.com.
And these two stars, once again, just magnificent.
You know, when I first got here, I told him, you know, I want to get him back to the finals.
James goes inside. Anthony Davis.
Wayne Wade said tonight he thinks Anthony is the best fit for you as a teammate you've ever had.
What's a compliment to AD? He's a big-time player.
What an amazing performance in his first NBA Finals.
Just a moment I waited for in my entire career.
First Laker teammates to score 30-plus in a finals game since Kobe and Shaq did it in 2002.
They duo special together, multiple championships, but they both are so dominant.
To be in the conversation with those two guys, myself and AD, is just very humbling. I'm happy that we even mentioned with those greats.
And the Lakers are 2 wins away from their 17th championship.
Darien Harris, you are a die-hard Lakers fan, and there you see, first time in 18 years, teammates, 30-plus point games in an NBA Finals. I want to take a look at 4 fantastic tandems, all with the Lakers, going way back at Elgin Baylor and Jerry West in the 50s and 60s and into the 70s. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, winning 5 championships together. Shaquille O'Neal and your man Kobe Bryant, and now LeBron and Anthony Davis. How would you rank those 4 tandems?
Oh, that's tough. I'd put Shaq and Kobe first. I mean, they, playing in the modern era and what they were able to do there was special, and the three-peat aspect of it was special too. Kareem and Magic got to go next, and then Elgin, Jerry, and then LeBron, AD, because you got to have the championships to move up that list. So we'll see what happens with this series, obviously with the Lakers, and if they win that one, then they'll start moving up the list. But LeBron and Anthony Davis is fun to watch, and I would agree with D. Wade that maybe regardless of if Anthony Davis is LeBron's best teammate, in terms of on the field or on the court, off the court, he's definitely his best fit, I think, in terms of on the court success.
Stephen Brooks, how impressive were the Lakers in their first 2 wins in the finals, considering that the Miami Heat were without Bam Adebayo, they were without Goran Dragic, you lose your point guard, you lose your best big, seems like a mismatch.
It is, and it has been though, and I have been impressed because like a good team does what a good team does. They just sort of, you got to play whoever's in front of you, and they beat them up pretty good the first couple of games. So we're waiting to see what Game 3 looks like tonight. But Game 1 especially, I was really impressed with the way the Heat came right out, and I wasn't expecting that type of start from them. And then the Lakers, they sort of peaked out, and the Lakers just ran right by them by the end of that thing. Game 2, of course, the Heat were a lot more short-handed, but again, you take what you can get. LeBron's been there a lot in the finals in his career, whether it's Kyrie or Kevin Love or whoever, being a little hurt or banged up. So you just got to play who's in front of you at that point, and they beat them good. So
we have seen the Heat sweep Indiana, beat top-seeded Milwaukee in 5, beat Boston in 6. Game 3 of the finals is in progress, very close at the half. But Darien, what has to happen for the Heat to stretch this out, make it at least a 6-game series, if not 7?
Well, I think Jimmy Butler has to do what he's been able to do so far today in this game, which is, play like the best player on the floor. I mean, so far, I think for this game, he has played like the best player on the floor. It doesn't mean he's the best player when you think of LeBron and Anthony Davis, but he's played like it. And then they have to get their shooters involved. So that's Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. They got to be able to knock down shots. So if they're able to do that, then it's anybody's game in terms of today. And the Lakers would have to go back to the drawing board and make some adjustments. But he came out strong today. Yeah. Jimmy Butler's a winner. He's got that mentality. I mean, his pedigree and his kind of aura and historic run that he's on in terms of going to teams and turning them into playoff teams is pretty special to watch.
Stephen, I want to take a look at the NBA Finals from 2007 to this year, 14 NBA Finals. Do you see a common thread? Do you see one player kind of weaving through all these finals?
Yeah. It's the era of LeBron. No doubt, it's been fun to watch. I was just talking to somebody the other day about how I really became a fan of his when he went to Miami and everything, and it's been fun to watch, no doubt. And like I agree with the comment, I think it was Dwayne Wade made, that AD is the best fit that LeBron's ever had next to him. I mean, I hadn't heard that before, but that makes total sense. I'm in total lockstep with him there. So, no doubt. I'm interested to see what they can do once the West is all back put together next year.
And Darien, while I agree, Michael, 6 championships and 6 finals appearances, it was still 6 finals appearances as opposed to what LeBron has done with Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland again. No one thought they'd win that championship. And now with the Lakers, he's been there so often, and that consistency deserves a shout out. We'll be right back. Our Lansing's Best segment coming up next.
Breaking! Car insurance rates are dropping. Did you know Michigan's auto insurance laws have changed? As of July 2nd, you are likely overpaying for coverage. We have always offered low rates, but now our rates are even lower with Stop One Insurance, where everyone's approved.
Millions of coronavirus cases, tens of millions of jobs lost. In 2020, healthcare is more important than ever. John James claims he'll protect us, but look at the facts. James supported a plan that strips healthcare from 23 million Americans, charges an age tax, and eliminates protections for pre-existing conditions. If we can't trust John James to support us now, why would we send him to the Senate? SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Okay, ready? I have a new daytime show. All the verbs. I cannot wait.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 47 and again at 6 on My 47.
It's an all-new season of TV's #1 show, The Masked Singer, Wednesday on Fox.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else. Peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first I just did basketball, and I got hooked. Before long, I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoy giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
They know all of your secrets.
I used to wet my bed.
Ross used to wear leg warmers.
Your middle name is Muriel.
Ross still sees his pediatrician.
Chandler entered a Vanilla Ice look-alike contest and won. Ross came in 4th and cried.
Joey was in a porno movie.
Ross married Rachel in Vegas and got divorced. Again.
But they love you anyway. Friends.
Stay up with your friends. Weeknights at midnight on Fox 47.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Lansing's Best segment, brought to you by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. The GLSA has brought thousands of athletes and teams to Mid-Michigan for hundreds of tournaments and special events. And we'll do that again in 2021, showing just what Mid-Michigan can be. There you see a photo of a great new book, Mick McCabe's Golden Yearbook, celebrating the best of his 50 years at the Detroit Free Press. We want to welcome him in now. Mick McCabe, the son of Swami, joins us via Zoom. Mick, when you think that we are halfway through this 2020 high school season, regular season, before this expanded playoffs, and Fox Sports Detroit is giving us a game of the week, got off to a great start with Clarkston and West Bloomfield.
Yeah, that was really good. There are so many college prospects on both sides, especially West Bloomfield, but Clarkston has these 2 gigantic offensive tackles, Rocco Spindler, who's going to Notre Dame, and Garrett Dellinger, who's going to LSU. And they form the best offensive line in the state because the other 3 guys are going to end up playing Division I college football eventually. And they were a sophomore running back who's who's pretty good, and their quarterback, who's a junior, took his lumps last year, but developed a lot. So they're 3-0. They've won 3 close games, and they're going to be pretty good.
Mick, the biggest surprise of 2020 thus far might have been East Lansing and a 21-6 win over defending state champ River Rouge. Bill Farraco's team was spectacular, taking a 21-point halftime lead.
Yeah, nobody really saw that coming. We expected, because River Rouge has had enough guys back. I mean, they lost Bully, their big running back, but their quarterback, who was tremendous in the state championship, is back. They've got a bunch of other Division I caliber athletes, but they clearly weren't ready for East Lansing.
Mick, elsewhere in mid-Michigan, DeWitt and East Lansing will not play, but Rob Zimmerman's Panthers look terrific. Mason's off to a great start. But what about Jeremy Miller's PW Pirates? 3 games thus far, they've outscored opponents 167-0.
Yeah, they're number 1 in Division 7. And Division 7 may be as well balanced as any division in the state. They've got, for Division 7 with Lumen Christi and Ithaca and Schoolcraft, which began the season number 1 in D7. They lost the other day, but that was to Chelsea, which is a good top 10 Division 3 school. But Jeremy's got a role at PW. I mean, what he's got is a legitimate program. It makes no difference who graduates from year to year.
Right.
He's got other guys to plug in there, and that's why they're so good.
Mick, I can't wait to see your new book being shipped. Mick McCabe's Golden Yearbook, right? That's 50 years, and you talk about all of the all-state teams, the best athletes you have seen. Tell us a little bit about how you put this together and how people can get a copy.
Well, it's on the website, Free Press, the sports thing. There's a thing to get $10 off.
Okay.
Just go on the website, free.com sports, and you can get a $10 discount. But they asked me to go back and pick the best all dream teams for my 50 years in football, boys and girls basketball. And then when we got that done, Gene Myers, who used to be our sports editor, says, you know what, that might make a pretty good book.
Well,
So
they
we
picked the
went
right
from
guy
there.
to do it. There's no doubt about that. And glad you are now an author. You got some more work ahead of you. We'll talk more about that down the road. But congratulations, and check that out at freep.com. You're going to want to get a copy of that. It's a great companion for high school football and basketball seasons. We'll be right back with our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by Culver's, our weekly awards, up next.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Champions. Every night is family night. Last man standing.
Weeknights at 7:30 and 11:30 on Fox 47.
Whether your insurance need is for business, farm and agriculture, or protecting your home and auto, experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
My name is Bill Huffnagel with Dart Bank. We would like to feature your local business. To enter to win, go to fox47news.com/bankingonbusiness.
Fox 47, home to the #1 primetime newscast.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by 4 great Culver's locations in mid-Michigan: Okemos North and South, North Lansing, and West Lansing. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. Swing through any Culver's drive-thru and grab your fresh favorites. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
Can't play with 12, Greg! Hey, Greg, you can only play with 11, Greg! JT, don't dance with him, run him over. Don't dance with him. You weren't even close to making that play. You got a hand on it. You weren't even close. Hey, pooch kick right over here at you, 9-9. Hey, yeah, little blistered things, awesome. Hey, hey, hey! Oh, honey. Oh, whoop, whoop. Oh, that baby. Golly. Uh-oh. Shoot. Oh, my gosh. Shoot. That aggravates the stew out of me. Sheesh. Dang.
One of the best shows in sports is always Phillip Rivers mic'd. And he was pretty spectacular last week. Today, not bad either, even though the Colts offense didn't do much. Defense really kicked in. Kari Willis and company, enough to hand the Bears their first loss of the season. All right, Team 366, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion? Darien, what do you have for us with our play of the week?
Play of the week, I'm sticking with 2 Spartans that are in NFL on special teams. The first is Benny Fowler, who had a great down punt that was able to kind of hold the Saints' lead and kind of hold off the Lions. Again, special teams, if you have a knack for it, you can play for a long time. And the second is Tabor Pepper, who is back in the NFL now with the 49ers. And again, another position that's sometimes overlooked, the ability to just snap the ball back in field goals and punts. It's a huge part of the game. We've seen so many times where if that goes awry, it can cost the team a game. So the 49ers had an issue with it, got rid of their snapper. Tabor went in, got a tryout, now back on NFL roster, and was snapping it crisp and clean today for the 49ers. So hats off to them.
Someone said that if you want your son to be an NFL player, the best thing you can do is teach him to snap.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Joe Bocci, we hear anything else about him? He's still on the practice squad?
Still on the practice squad, as is Andrew Dow. So there's a pretty good Spartan representation in New Orleans, and I think they'll get a shot later on this season probably to be called up to the active roster.
Sounds good. Stephen Brooks, what do you have for us for our team of the week?
I gotta go with the Lakers. I mean, and maybe they'll look foolish depending on what they're doing on TV right now. But they're the only team that's baseball's not on my radar. Obviously, we went over that. They're the only team that played twice. Alabama put up the fireworks show on A&M, and Georgia beat the crap out of Auburn. It gave them some consideration, but the consistency of the Lakers. I mean, what LeBron and AD have been doing throughout the playoffs, but especially the finals, is just it's really fun to see. It feels like the end of an evolution that we've been moving toward for a long time in terms of the big guard that can do it all and the versatile big man that can space the floor. They're kind of almost like the final form of what we've been seeing for a long time. So a lot of good stuff from them.
I want to give a special shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning defeating the Dallas Stars in the Stanley Cup Finals. And the reason is the Lightning coach, John Cooper, who used to coach Lansing Catholic, and then he coached minor league hockey here in Lansing. A lot of people here know him. He went to Cooley Law School. So congratulations to Coop on getting a Stanley Cup and getting to hoist that trophy. For our player of the week, very quickly, how about Robbie Alvarado? He's a late ad as the jockey for Preakness winner Swiss Skydiver, beat Authentic in a tremendous stretch run. And 47 years old, he'd overcome a couple of skull fractures along the way. Odell Beckham Jr., I never thought I would say anything good about him on the air. 2 big touchdown catches and a reverse for a score as Cleveland beats Dallas 49-38, and it's the first time since 2001 that The Browns are 3-1. For Darien Harris and Stephen Brooks, Jack Ebling saying, have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next week.